Dating in 2026 sucks. How come almost every single guy invites themselves over to my house? They're like, let's smoke. Or the other way around. They're like, you want to come over and smoke? No, I don't want to come over and smoke with you. I want to go on a date like a normal person. When did all these guys forget what a date is? I'm scared I'm gonna be single forever.
Notice she's getting confused by the dating market. She doesn't understand because men are being direct with her. The men that she's interacting with, they're being direct with her. So if she has a type, she has a type for men that are direct with her, and she doesn't like this because she's at the point where I'm done with those guys. I need the sucker dudes. But the sexual attraction, like what she finds appealing, is still there. They can't change this. That's why I always say they're fighting tooth and nail for it. It doesn't work that way. Men forgot what a date is or what a date meant. No, men didn't forget anything like that. Men have opened themselves up and realized that this simp strategy isn't real. What is real is some men need to take women out on dates to get next to them. Some men don't need to take women on dates to get next to them. That's all that's happening here. But you cannot manipulate men into thinking that doing all of these things, going on all these dates, is going to buy loyalty or some type of connection. Let's get the next one.
Ask her out. As a female, we want y'all to ask us out. There's so many guys that have been interested in me or my friends that have made it very obvious that they're interested, but never ask us out. And so nothing ever happens. The amount of things that I have seen people where they're talking stages and they have them and it's great, but the guy never asks them out because they're scared because they don't want to. Like, just ask her out. Ask her out.
This is funny because she's leaving out key parts. And I always say this, the way they communicate, they leave out small details. They made it obvious that they were interested in you, but did you make it obvious that you were interested in them back? Dudes are going to leave mixed signals alone. So when women think by being difficult or not showing that much interest or wanting the guy to chase that it's going to go in their favor, it's not. Younger dudes are onto this too. Even though, you're going to be a guy that wants to do all of this stuff when you're younger, more younger dudes are catching on to this because they're seeing it more. When you're older, you go to work, you go to the gym, you come home or whatever. But when you're younger, you're in the mix. You're still around with your friends all the time. You're going out. You go out to parties. You go to school. You see the games that women play left and right. And now guys are like, nah, I'm not feeling that. And she says, nothing ever happens. What she really means is, I don't ever get anything out of this. I don't get anything out of dudes being interested in me like that. Which means that you think that just because a guy's interested in you, that you're supposed to be getting a bunch of stuff. No. Let's get the next one.
It's one of the problems with dating in our society right now is that when you're on a walk, doesn't matter where, you can be like in the cutest area, the cutest, hottest people hang out there, and you're just like walking, and then you see a hot guy approaching, and he's wearing a hat and sunglasses, and he sees you, and you see him, and then the closer you get, you're like getting ready to be like, not that will get you really anywhere, because who's stopping to be like, stop, your smile was so amazing, I have to flirt with you. It could happen, you never know. So anyways, you're getting close, the moment's building, and then you finally get close, and you look up to see the guy, and he looks at his phone. It's like, that was your moment, dude. That was your moment to stare me in the eye and just be like, I think you're cute. But no, you have to look at your phone because you're like, pussy ass bitch. Along with the no phone parties that I'm obsessed with, I think we should do no phone walks. Even though I'm on my phone right now talking to my camera, no one's stopping me. But you know what? I see no one. I bet you if I walk past someone right now while I'm talking, I'm gonna say, hi, how are you? What's wrong with the hi, how are you? There's really nothing wrong with it. I mean, I did just see a really hot guy, and that was what triggered this whole thought because we saw each other. We were both looking cool, and then the moment approached and I looked and he looked down. Fuck. That might be the key source in one of the areas that are wrong with dating right now. I just wanna say it. I'm putting it out there. Let me know what you think. Would you stop and say hi to someone on a walk? Let me know.
No, women just get confused when you're not interested because they're not used to this. They don't understand how things go. So this guy that you saw, she said he had shades on. So how do you even know that he's looking at you? But let's go with her story, right? He's looking at you. Did you ever stop to think that he has a girlfriend and he finds you attractive, but he's just taking a look and that's all it is? He's loyal to his girl, but he can admit that a woman is attractive and he keeps it pushing. No, she don't worry about that. She never stops to think about that. Have you ever thought to yourself that maybe you saw you and said, damn, she got a nice face, but she ain't got no ass? So he just keeps it moving. No, she never thought about that.
Can somebody tell me why the only person I want is the only person that doesn't care whether I live or die?
Not text them. I swear to God, please do not text them. I don't care how many times it takes you to rewatch this, but do not text them.
Guys, I almost sent a long paragraph today, and then I realized it's not worth it because they don't care. And then on top of that, then you're just gonna look crazy.
That they don't care part that she mentioned is so telling. The men that you're talking about, or this guy that you want to text, you know that he's not going to care if you send a paragraph. You know that he's not going to care. But that they don't care is speaking like all men. No, the men that you're attracted to are typically guys that don't care about you like that. And whose fault is that? That's your fault. It's funny to me that when a guy that they're dealing with isn't a pushover or he can't be manipulated, all of a sudden there's a problem there. There's a problem there. And there's distance in between them, right? And she's like, I'm going to send this paragraph. Well, why are you sending this paragraph? Because to you, you're saying, well, I'm getting my feelings out. Yeah, that could be how you look at it. But when you're a realist and you look at it, you're trying to make him see your side of things to come back around. Your feelings are going to be used to manipulate him. Let's say he's like, okay, I hear you and I understand how you feel, but I think it's better if we just don't speak. You're still going to have a problem with that. That's not closure for you, but that should be closure for you because he's letting you know he's being emotionally intelligent. When she said, I was about to send a paragraph, but I'm not, it's because she already knows the type of guy that she's interacting with can't be manipulated. Let's get the next one.
I'm kind of the queen of getting friend zoned. Every single guy that I go on a date with, okay, every single guy is an exaggeration. A lot of guys that I go on dates with, they all want to be friends with me. And it's like, I get it. I would want to be friends with me too. I think that they see me and they're like, wow, high value woman, so hilarious, so beautiful. I don't have what it takes to date you. That's how I think that they think of me. They're like, I don't have what it takes to date you, but I love your personality and I want to keep you around. It's like they want their cake and they want to eat it too. And so here I am being friend zoned left, right, and center. And it's just like, does anyone want to be my friend, but also like make out with me at the same time? It's kind of weird to me when guys want to friend zone me because I'm like, either you can't get it together enough to the point that you want to date me or you're gay. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm like, you're either down for men and that's why you want to keep me around, like kiki all the time, have fun, call me with your problems, tell me everything about you, or like you just know that you can't take on what I have to offer, which is like, look at me, I don't care, like it is what it is, I know the vibes. So yeah, if you're being friend zoned by guys, like it just means you're high value and they don't want to disappoint you when they inevitably will when they date you, and you'll be like, no, this ain't working for me, sir. So yeah,
the men that you want don't want you for anything intimate where it comes to there's commitment there, because what she said just gave herself away. High value woman. This is manipulation tactics by women. When they're talking about, I'm a high value woman, you know, what does that really mean? Because a woman that's worth it, a woman that knows how to get a man and keep a man, she doesn't have to use that language. She doesn't. And this part trips me out because the things that are required of you to make you that type of woman that a guy would keep around, you're not willing to do anyway. See, when they're saying high value, it's nothing about what the man's gonna get or what she's gonna build with the man. It's like, no, I'm this way, so you need to do this. That's not how things work. All of their language is manipulation. Let's go with the word partnership, for instance, right? Partnership. What does any of that have to do with you building something together? You being this high value woman? Absolutely nothing. So when men get a whiff of this attitude or this behavior or this language, they're like, nah, let me just cut my losses. She's just talking because she's making herself feel better. She can't manipulate these guys, and it's them who are intimidated and blah, 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 same song and dance.